It's time to do a bow build. It's been a little while since I've documented one of these, but this bow I'm excited to do because it's been quite a number of years since I've had a dedicated target bow, although I may end up turning this bow into a crossover target and hunting bow. But it's the BowTech Reckoning. It's the Gen2 36, new for 2023. I got mine with the medium cam, which goes 25.5 to 29.5. I normally shoot right around 29, so I should get really exceptional performance out of this. A lot of good bows out there this year with very subtle changes. This bow just happened to check a lot of boxes for me as far as the features and things that I like to keep things simple. Biggest thing, and everybody's screaming to have this on the BowTech hunting bows, is the time lock adjustment on the cams here, to where you don't need to press the bow or twist cables to get timing. You just loosen a set screw, turn it in or out to adjust your cable length for your timing. The other thing that really stuck out to me that I liked is the grip lock. You got a set screw on each side of the grip, and then an adjustment screw right there on the riser, so that you can adjust the grip angle and not have to buy additional parts or pieces or remove anything. So that's really nice. And then what BowTech's been really famous for the last couple years is their deadlock cam adjustment system to shift your top and bottom cam left and right. Again, you don't have to press the bow. You don't have to remove axles, change out shims, any of that crap. So those features I'm excited about. I got this bow about a week ago from Lancaster. You can buy these on our website there. I'll put a link to them, and then I'll also drop a link of PJ's full bow review on this. So like I said, I got it about a week ago. I was waiting for additional accessories to show up so I could start building it. In the meantime, I just slapped a spring steel on there and just shot about 30 shots out of it off the string. I think it's kind of funny how BowTech still includes a brass knock and a couple eliminator buttons, so I had to dig out a release I could actually use to shoot off the string, and it wasn't that bad. 36 axle to axle, there wasn't too much knock pinch and stuff like that. It was kind of nostalgic, remembering simpler times without all the different options and string loops and debates out there. But yeah, so this bow is going to be awesome, and the reason I'm thinking of possibly doing it as a crossover bow, because it weighs on my, I think they advertise it at like 4.6 4.7 pounds, and on the scale with the dampeners, everything on there, it's just shy of 5 pounds. So it's about the same weight as a hunting bow. The only thing I'll have to get over is maybe the length of it going through the woods, to see if I wanna do that or not. So I'll show you some of the accessories that I'll be putting on here. Oh, the other thing that checks a box is the deflex riser. So BowTech's had their center pivot riser design for a lot of years, but this is your pivot point of the bow, where the face of the limb meets the pocket. So it's not down here, it's right at the face. So if you were to draw a straight line from that pivot point down to that pivot point, this grip, the throat of the grip, is actually about a 1/2 inch in front of that line. So it makes it really hard to torque the bow, but gives you a really steady aim, steady shot, where virtually every bow on the market, at least hunting wise, has a couple inches of reflex. So they're a little bit torquey, a little bit finicky. So accessories, we'll start with the sight. A lot of good sights out there. We definitely sell a ton of Excel, but if you're one of our customers, you've probably called us 500 times asking where your back order is. So I went with a different US company, B3 out of Kentucky, Talk to people about these a lot. They don't have all of the features that an Excel has, but they're still a really good sight. US made in Kentucky. Used to be the CBE and Scott guys before they sold out to the Outdoor Group. And they're like $340 for just the sight bar. So reasonable in today's world of target sights. And then I put a UV3 target kit on there. 4-power lens, 19,000 center drilled. Comes with some sticky dots and hoops and stuff on there. Like I said, it's been like 10 plus years since I've shot a target setup or anything with a lens. So trying to keep it simple, get used to it. But yeah, this sight bar does have third axis leveling right here with just a single set screw, which is it should work out fine. I would say the biggest thing this sight lacks is not having a rapid elevation adjustment. So it does have elevation lock, and then you're just clicking up and down for all your distances. So probably not going to be fun if you're jumping from 80 yards to a 20-yard target, but I'm going to give it a go. And then you got second axis adjustment right here, first axis here, and then a lock there, and then you've got micro windage. So gonna run that. And in addition to that, since my eyesight's been going crappy over the last few years anyways, I got a specialty PXS target peep housing. That's their sunshade for it. And then I went ahead and got the PXS target kit deluxe. So that's gonna come with, it's like 3, 4, 5 aperture sizes, and then 4 or 5 clarifier lenses to try and clean up the image of the magnified lens out front. Clarifiers are for use when you're using a magnified lens on the front. Verifiers are if you're using just a pin or a single pin, multi-pin sight up front with no lens on there. Get that question a lot. The other thing I got that I used to use way back in the day is just a little hat clip. Since my eyes have been going, I've been having to shoot, depending on lighting, with my left eye squinted or closed, just because getting double vision and distortion and not fun. So these clip on your brim of your hat, kind of fold down so you can keep that eye open, but get a little bit better clarity and stuff. On my rest, I've got this Trinity that I've had for several years. I'm going to put that on there, take the cage off, and then I got a Hansky target conversion kit to set it up with. On my bars, I already had a 14-inch Trude Rev X, so I'm gonna run that with the Atlas V-bar sidebar single mount on there, and then I had to pick up a 28-inch Rev X for my front bar, and I think we were out of stock on the quick disconnects from Shrewd. So I've got this old, if anybody remembers this, it's a Cordoza Archery. I don't even remember. I got this in the late 90s, but just gonna run that for my front quick disconnect, and then that Atlas sidebar has a quick disconnect on it already. So that stuff. And then as far as arrows, I already had, like I said, I don't know, there's, fat shafts for 3Ds, micro stuff for field, target. I have not decided on what avenue, what I specifically want to set this up target wise. So I had some Velocity Pros already. So I figure I've got those. I'll just get some components for those, kind of set it up neutral for now, because I imagine I'll be changing accessories, arrows, as I get a feel for the bow. It's the cam system has so much adjustment to it as far as being able to change your let off, your feel of the back wall, that I don't know where I want to be yet. So it's going to be an evolving process of playing with some different setups, seeing what tunes good and shoots good out of it. So on those velocities, got some gold tip pins, some biter hunter knocks, and just some 100 grain Accu target points for it. And then I'll probably run a 4-fletch slight left offset with these Q2i 2.1 SL super low profile vanes on there. So yeah, that's all the goodies that I'm gonna start off with on it. I'm just gonna kind of slap everything together. Obviously I gotta build up some of these arrows so I can get my loop set and rest height set. And then as far as throwing the sight on there, I'm not gonna go crazy with like leveling it out first yet, because I need to see where my gang elevation of my bar is gonna wind up. I may end up flipping my yardage tape over to the outbound side, just because this UV is such a big scope and it kind of gets in the way of reading that yardage indicator and stuff. But yeah, lots of stuff to play with here. So I'm gonna start building and show you the progress, and I may do the tuning portion of the bow in a second video. But backing up the 30 shots that I have shot through the bow, I really like it. I shot three shots on comfort setting. Felt great, super good draw cycle. Flipped it over to performance, pretty aggressive, especially being near the peak draw length range. You let up just a little bit and it takes off on you on the letdown. But if I'm conscious about it, I'm able to maintain it at full draw, and it feels good because it's been quite a while since I've shot more of an aggressive bow that keeps you honest in your form. So I'm gonna plan to leave it on performance if I can handle it. The draw stops come from the factory on the pointy end, so that little tip of the triangle is coming around and hitting the cable, which is a crazy hard back wall. It feels like a limb stop, and I guess if you flip it over to where the flat side of that stop is contacting it, makes the wall even harder. So I've got both of those options to play with to see how it feels, and then also need to figure out my holding weight. This module is does not have the pin system in it like BowTech's in the past, so you can slightly rotate that module to play with your let off settings, and then you got the two-sided stop there for your back wall. So I'm gonna start building. I've been having to read instructions for converting this rest over. Essentially to take your cage off, taking a screw out of the side and out of the back side here, and then it comes with this little plastic plug that you put in there, fill it with the screw, and then you put another screw there where the other one came out to prevent dust from going in there. And then attaching the launcher is easy. It does recommend Loctite, so I got some that I'm going to put on there. And then the last part that I'm having to figure out is removing this angle adjustment screw for the launcher blade. Obviously you can see this is in a much higher angle position than the hunting blade on there, so I'm going to remove that, Loctite it, and put that new one in there, which you got to put 2 washers on there that it comes with as well. So it's kind of time consuming, but slap the sight on, that looks good. Put the sidebar mount and the back bar, I think these are the silver or tungsten or something, they're 1 to 1 1/4, and then the black weights are I think 1/4 ounce, so I got that on there with that many, and then the front quick disconnect, and then just a few weights up front. With this deflex riser, the bow naturally kind of kicks back when you shoot, so it should possibly need a little more front weight versus bows that are reflex, like to tip forward, so then you need more back weight on those bows. But All right, finish dinking around with this rest here. Loctite was dried out, so I'm gonna go without. So replacing that bottom angle adjustment screw, those two washers, as you can see, change the blade angle of it. And so it's not a screw that is adjustable. It's just the actual sheer length of it. And it says if you want to adjust this different, you would either add or subtract washers on that screw. So I'm gonna run it like that. It is a little bit stiff because I had this set up for some heavier hunting arrows. So I'm gonna pop those two screws and lighten up the spring tension just a little bit, and then hopefully get it slapped on the bow here. Good to go. Slapping the rest on the bow. Not gonna run set screws. There are two burger holes. And the spacing for just the standard Hamskea bracket is pretty good. Arrow rest is tight in now. I went right about there with it. Try it out first, see how it goes. I checked center shot. I think this came off of my Elite bow, but center shot was right on, so I didn't have to adjust it there at all. If you haven't seen any of my other videos, how I personally check center shot is I knock an arrow on the string, and then I look from above the bow and put the arrow in the center of the top limb bolt, and then look to see where it references with the bottom limb bolt, adjust the rest to where it's right in center there. And that gets you pretty close. Some guys you can measure off of the riser. I think the average industry standard these days is 13/16, so you can do that. So the Hamskea Trinity with that little quick lock on there, which I like. It's a little easier than the one that you have to tighten with the Allen wrench, because they're always falling apart and stuff. So you just pull it tight, pinch it together, and then slide that O-ring up there. Sorry, I'm so close to this camera. So actually I need to tighten it up a little bit more to get that down. There we go. And so my next step will be spinning those gold tips. Even though they're a 1/1000th, I'm just gonna spin them, see if I need to necessarily trim any off the back of the shaft, which I probably will. Just kind of a conscious thing that I do to get any of that run out on there. Just chop 1 to 2 inches off the back, and then the rest off of the front there. So play with the arrows, slap a loop on here, and then I'll have to get the peep sight installed, and then I can start shooting it and see what she does. Spun a couple of the shafts. Yeah, a little wobble. Could have been the label, so I just said screw it and chopping 1.5 inches off the back of all of these. They're 32-inch. These are 340s. My bow is 60 pounds, so they might be a little bit stiff. I probably would have liked to shot a 400, so I may actually end up having these lengthwise in front of the riser, so that'll make some people happy. So chopped 1.5 inches off the back, squared them. I like to blow them out with some canned air, and then just dry Q-tip them, and then I'll hot melt with the boning. I don't know why they changed the name. It was called Cool Flex. Maybe some other industry had a patent thing on it. It's called, like, I don't know, Cool Melt or something now, but it's the blue stuff. I've been using that on a lot of my arrows for bushings and inserts, even on hunting setups, and it's been holding up really good, and it's nice that you can remove the stuff. So they're all clean and good. Fire this up. Can you see that? Oh, there's the flame. Just barely touch that in there. generous amount. Get it in there. It's a little tight. Let it cool for a second and then peel that excess stuff off there. And yeah, do the rest of them here. And then I'm not really into bare shafting, but I'll probably just cut down one of them a little bit long, shoot it, kind of get the tune close to know that my length is on, and then fletch them up and see how they tune. Pins are in, nocks are installed. That flow red biter looks pretty good. I took one shaft, cut it 28 carbon to carbon, so I'm probably knot groove, probably 28 and a half. Yeah, 28 and a half, spot on. Squared it, prepped it. Gonna glue in 100 grain AccuPoint here. These arrows are gonna be heavy too, so I'm just gonna build this one, see what it weighs out with, and check tune, chronograph it. I guess I would be happy if I was in the 290 range or so, because the arrows are going to be like around 400 grains, I think. The Reckoning Gen 2 medium cam IBOs at 332, which I imagine that's at 29 and a half. And then you figure the manufacturer's 10 feet off, so 322 at 29 and a half, 70 with a 350. I'm going to be 29 with 60 pounds with like a 400 grain, so it should be around that 280, 85 maybe. We'll check it and see here in just a minute. I must have done some math wrong. So the shaft, I got it on the scale here, with knock, bushing, point, 28-inch carbon is 350. Now I'm going to throw on 3 vanes. Oh, you stupid scale. Battery's low. All right. So shaft weight 350, 3 vanes makes it 367, 4 vanes makes it 373. That's not horrible. At 60 pounds, I could be shooting a 300 grain arrow out of it. 70 grains over, yeah, should be around that 285, 290 mark. So let's go check it out and see. Out in the family room. So got it pretty much built, ready to shoot. I've only just shot one arrow out of it so far. Make sure it didn't blow up or do anything for me crazy. Performance settings really stiff. I might have to chicken out and go to comfort on there. But anyways, I'm gonna shoot one through paper here just to see what it looks like, and then I'll chrono it. I slapped the peep sight in there. I didn't throw a clarifier aperture in there yet. Just kind of slowly getting the process going here. Pretty good. Pretty good. Show you here.
Not bad. So that'll be a good start to go off with. At least I know that I'm close. And build up these arrows and stuff. But let me grab my chronograph and we'll see what kind of speed we get. Here comes the chrono test. So 29 inch, it's about 61 pounds. This arrow's 350. Granted, once I add the vanes, it's going to be 370 something. So check it out, see what kind of speed we get here. .294. So adding 20 grains, I should be in that high 280 range. Show you here. 294. We'll try it again. See what we get. As far as the tuning, I mean, like I said, I'll put together another video at some point in the future. I just don't have a lot of time and I don't make any money off of YouTube, so yet. Okay, shot number 2 here. Duplicate 294. So being right now, 45, 50 grains heavier than IBO, that's pretty good. I would like to maybe go to Reading this year. It's been a while since I've gone. It's only about a day and a half drive from here. So yeah, maybe that's what I'll gear this bow towards, but appreciate you guys watching. Hope everybody's doing well, and we'll catch you later. Here's my PS and to invite you to subscribe. Nope. Bad batch or something. I personally haven't had an issue with Q2i before in my building process, but I tried to build 2 different arrows 4 times and couldn't get these to stick. So hybrid 2.3s, and these are actually a little bit lighter than those Q2i 2.1s. These stuck without any problem. I ran X2s on these TKOs, had no issues with them sticking. Like I said, not a typical thing with Q2i. Just things happen once in a while. You get bad glue, bad vanes, something off, some little gremlin rubbing their greasy fingers on them. But that's going to be the build for now.